Hi everybody, welcome back. The last 3 weeks we've been talking about resolutions and goal setting and different approaches to that and how to start with maybe some big concepts, some guiding principles, and whittle it down to more specific planning of our day. And this week we're going to shift gears a little bit. This is the last week of January. And for anybody, any students, any teachers who've taught a little while, we know this is the time of the year that gets a little trying. That kind of end of January through February. I always say February, for being the shortest calendar month of the year, is undoubtedly the longest month of the school year. Especially if you are here in the Midwest. It's been snowy and cold for a long time. A lot of our teachers and students, especially if you have activities before and after school, you're showing up at school when it's dark, you're leaving school and getting home when it's still dark, it's cold, we've got snow days, so the schedule is changing, all those sorts of things, and there's not a real clear break in sight. We're far enough away from our winter break, and summer break is still a long way off. Maybe some schools have a spring break in there somewhere, but we're not quite there yet. So this really tends to be the time of year where the moods go down a little bit. Maybe the general feeling in the building or in the classroom, or maybe we see it amongst our students that not everybody's cranked up and ready to go. The newness has worn off. So, for the next couple weeks, we're going to spend some time doing some things to hopefully lift our spirits a little bit and positively impact the people around us. So this week's task is really simple. And this is not something that I came up with. I've seen it done before, and our teachers were actually at a in-service meeting at the beginning of this year before classes started, and our guest speaker had us do this exact same thing. But we're going to just send somebody a positive message. We're going to do it in class. And there's a number of reasons for that. One, we had talked about earlier in the year about our giants, meaning the people in our lives who have positively impacted us, upon whose shoulders we stand. And I encouraged all of you to let one of those people know that they've had a positive impact on your life. I know some did, and that was great, and we got some great feedback from people. But sometimes that can be an uncomfortable thing. But I think it's one of the best things that we can do is actually share with other people how they positively impact us, to tell other people that we care about them. And that's obviously a benefit to that person, that hopefully it makes them feel good. But I'm sure those things make us feel good too. I'm of the firm belief that if we want something good and positive in this life, the best thing we can do is put a little good and a little positivity into the world. And I think it's fun to get people's reactions when they're maybe not expecting something like that. I think of my daughter all the time, who's 7 and at that age where she does very sweet things. Actually, by the time I play this video, she'll be 8. I'm filming a couple of these together, but she's at that age where she'll make little notes for me that just say, "Dad, I love you." And I save them all. I put them in drawers, and I hang them up on bulletin boards, and I have them on my little nightstand in my bedroom. I've got them all over. I put them in my backpack because they're wonderful, just little spirit lifters for me. And it's kind of fun to see how over time, like, her spelling has improved. I used to get a lot of I love bad, spelled L-U-V and then B-A-D. I love bad. That was directed towards me. But there's such sweet little things, and she'll still do that. There'll be times where maybe, let's say I'm cooking and I'm trying to get things ready, and we just got home from an after-school activity, and the kids got to do their homework, and I'm kind of running around, and she'll be like, Dad, Dad, Dad. And it's kind of one of those like, yeah? And she's like, love you, Dad. It kind of softens me, and I'm like, love you too. And I think there's nothing better than we can do than those little messages, just to let people know that they've positively impacted our lives and that we care about them and that we're grateful for them. And it's a nice reminder for us, too, of the good things that we do have when it maybe does get in some of these stretches of the school year that seem a little monotonous or repetitive, or maybe not as geared up as we were at the start of the school year when things were going to be great. Well, this can be a reminder. It can lift our spirits and the spirits of the people around us. So that's what we're going to do this week. We're going to talk in class, and then I'm going to have all of you do that while we're in class. You can get out your cell phones at that time. It'll be one of the times that it'll actually be useful for us to have a cell phone in class. Cell phone or an email, whatever, and I'm going to have you send a message to somebody, just letting that person know he or she has positively impacted you and you appreciate them. And the only thing that you need to respond to me is then I want you to, by the end of the week, send me a brief reflection on the response that you got. And sometimes it'll be funny. If you send a text to your mom or dad in the middle of the day that just says, hey, I appreciate everything you do for me, love you, they're probably going to wonder what's wrong. But I think that's a good thing. And I want to know what the reaction was, how that made that person feel, how they responded, and how it made you feel to do that. And that's it. Pretty simple task, but there are always little things that we can do to improve our mood and to improve our environment. And I think this is one of them. And like I said, it's not my idea. We did it at the beginning of this year, and I thought it was a worthy thing that we did with our guest speaker. It's something that has been seen and done before. It's sort of the idea of pay it forward. Say something nice, do something nice for somebody. And that's kind of what we're focusing on right now at this point in the year. So, thanks. Let's have a great week. Let's decide to control our environment. Much love.